Hello traders and welcome to our market update. It's still Napan here, founder of Master of Markets Illustrates Conference and the Traders Open Day. So here we are on a market update in the 6th of September 2019. It's our first market update for September. So welcome back to September. It's crazy, isn't it? How time flies. We've only got about 3.5 months left for the year. Wow. Okay, so back to the markets again. So I'm going to start off with a topic as we always do in market update, and then we'll look through the our performance, and then after that I'll just finish up with just looking at all the other markets as well. All right. Okay, so there we go. Right. So in terms of the topic for today, I just wanted to cover money management. And in terms of money management, whenever you are in a trade, right? So this only starts to occur once you're in the trade, is it not, traders? Yeah. So once you are in the trade, so what are we then looking for? So once we are in the trade, we're looking to manage the trade. So you can go through a four-step process. Now, the four-step process, what we are talking about is first, your main focus is always on risk, okay? The downside will always look after itself. The first thing is you start off with an initial stop loss. The initial stop loss is where you will get your maximum hit, okay? And usually most traders are taught to do 1%, okay? You can either reduce it, you can either increase it according to your risk portfolio. Now, the second thing then is once the trade goes in your favor and according to your parameters, you're meant to minimize your risk. Okay. The third thing then you move on to basically is looking to break even as much as you can when the market allows you to. And then number four is you then start to trail your stop loss after break-even point to lock in as much profit as possible, and then also to start looking at closing the trade and exiting the trade. Okay, so these are the 4 points. Now let's go through each one in a bit detail. ISL, one of the good guidelines for you to put your parameters around it is to ask the question of when would your trade be invalidated? Okay, when would your trade be invalidated? So if you are just purely using technicals, then you can just be a technical level. If you want to use news as well, if you're a fundamental trader, then you can basically tell yourself like, okay, at which point if this kind of news comes out or whatsoever, maybe combined with a technical, then your trade will be invalidated and you get out. So those are the things that you must decide for when your trade would be invalidated. The next thing what we are then talking about is minimizing your risk. Okay. So once it goes in your favor, okay, like for example, this dollar Swiss trade that we were in, so let me just blank this out here. So we got in on this particular red bar here, okay? This particular red bar here is what we got in, and the next day it did go in our favor, right? I mean, most of you were in that trade, you can understand. So at that point, what you can then do is ask yourself is how much open equity of profit are you in your trade? What do I mean by that? Find out how much reward you have got in terms of your risk. So let's say for example you entered here, your stop loss was here, and that's a 50 pip, okay? And over here at the moment, as in live conditions, let's say this is now moved another 75 pips, let's say in your favor. Now that is about 1.25% profit, isn't it, traders you are in, right? And of course at 1.25%, some of you may be asking yourself, hey, hang on a minute here. I don't want to give back all my 1.25% to the market if it just comes back here to my stop loss, okay? So that's the kind of things that you can then do. So what we would advise sometimes is that depending on your strategy objectives, then you would minimize the risk accordingly. Let's say, for example, this is to run to a bigger um, you're looking to capture a bigger move, then of course, yeah, your stop loss usually is a bit far away, give it more room to move. However, if you want to then split the positions into two types of positions, where one position is looking to capture the bigger move and let it run a bit more, and the second one is a bit more aggressive. And if it's a more cleaner move, then you're still in the trade. Okay. But strictly in terms of a minimizing risk, one thing I would highly recommend is that looking at how much actual reward to risk you have at the moment, unrealized profit, and then start to look at how to minimize your risk from that particular point. Always keep asking yourself, when will the trade be invalidated for you? And also, um, would you like to lose the full amount on this particular trade? Okay. The second thing then you look at is breaking even. That's also part of minimizing risk as well. When I say minimizing risk on second part, it's just about reducing it from -1 to, let's say, more than 0. Okay, in between. So anything from minus zero point 0.5, minus zero point 0.3, whatever it is. Once then you can get to break even point, then of course we are at 0% here. We are at a neutral point here, right? So over here, the way that we looked at the market was we split the position into 2 points. So one of the positions we actually broke even, and the other position we follow as much as closely to the system as much as possible. So this is one way that you can do it. Um, so that's one way that you can look at to reduce your risk, because you see, at the end of the day, traders, in terms of cumulative trades, because we're not just here for one trade, are we? In the end, in terms of cumulative trades, some trades will never look back and they'll just keep going down, and those are the trades that will give you the biggest equity push. And then this kind of trades where it comes back and retraces and you're not sure whether it's going to go up or go down, and you're holding on with your negative drawdown. I mean, those are the ones where you want to reduce your risk, so that these trades where you made your most money, you don't give back your profits. Okay, look at this. This is a very classic example, isn't it? Never looked back. It just kept going down, right? So these are the kind of moves we're waiting for, and this kind of moves, we're reducing our risk as much as possible, taking small profits and not losing too much, so that when we get the big profits like here, then we can hold on to them and not give them back to the market. So that is what the whole idea is. All right. Okay, good. So that's to do with that. And then finally, once you've gone past the break-even point, then you start to take profit and trade a stop loss to make profit. And then you also start to look at exiting as well. I think one of the things I mentioned in the other videos is that you can start looking at distribution bars if you're a swing trader. And at that point of a distribution bar, then you start to plan your exit and look to get out of the trade. Okay, I guess that's pretty much that from me in terms of this topic. So go through these 4 steps and go and revisit your rules. And in terms of some of the strategies that we do as well, yes, some of them do have um, a more conservative stop loss to catch bigger moves, but even that, you can split the 2 positions and you can start to risk manage accordingly. Okay, right. I guess that's pretty much that in terms of the topic. Quick look at the markets before I look at the performance. Dollar Swiss is on a down. One thing of caution is that this high is still holding 4 days already. Today's non-farm came out, so looking like a high test bar. Let's see how this closes today. At the moment, it's still above the high of this bar. Okay, so let's see how that, if that holds, maybe highly probably this high may hold. If it takes out this low, the probability will increase. Okay, so let's see how that carries on. Dollar yen. Um, yes, we did take a prime profit. We exited yesterday on this. It's a really good trade, of course, in hindsight, right? But of course, we took this money in real time. But of course, looking back at it, it looks like, oh wow, look at that, so genius. We got out there. Not really. I mean, you never know. Today you would have done that. It could have gone more higher. But the point is that we just follow our a systematical statistical validation of profit taking, and that's why we got out over there. So in terms of that, we entered here basically, and then we got out on the close once this one got taken out. That's where the edge diminishes. Right. So in terms of that, today is still a downtrend, so can be looking at it for this to become a turning point. So this is something that we'll be looking at, and you guys can look into as well. Cable, on the other hand, Still on an uptrend because of all the Brexit news, all Boris Johnson no deal, Brexit not being really going in favor, and more discussions going on. So yeah, I mean, let's keep an eye on that. Euro dollar still on the rise, and let's see, just a little bit more. Let's see if this, do you think this swing will confirm? Yeah, I would say highly probably because there's three trending bars. So statistical validation tells us that 80% of bars will confirm within three trending bars. If they do not, then yeah, then the next ones they might. So this is here and there, but with the strength today, I think it might confirm. Bitcoin still downtrend. Let's see if it takes out this high today. Not sure about that. FTSE still in a bit of a consolidation, still uptrend according to ours indicators in terms of high and low. Oil, on the other hand, you can see that it's up. Gold up as well. Aussie dollar, quite strong upward trend. It might confirm today this low, which has been going on for quite some time. Euro yen downtrend as well. Strong upward move yesterday, a bit of a stall today. And then finally the Dow. Finally the Dow low is confirmed today, as you can see. Parabolic is to the up as well. And let's see if this downtrend persists. It's a variation 5, structural failure here. And that's what we are looking at the moment. I'm still a bit bearish on the Dow with its fundamental points. If you still take a look on the weekly, you can see that it's hovering around this high for the good last 1 year. Okay, it's not going past that. It went back a bit, bounced off that. Now it's done. Downtrend on the daily. If this doesn't hold and it comes back down, then we got a good solid run to the downside. So that's something that we will be closely looking at towards this end of the year. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much that from me in terms of the market update. In terms of our performance, let's see how it's been. I went through it, so let me just give you the crux of it. So, what do we have? We have smart money. Dollar Swiss is still floating at the moment, as you can see over here. We still not exited it. Our stop loss is still over here on the top. We're still holding on to this particular trade at the moment. Next thing what we're looking at is swing profits. There's no trades at all on that, but flat. Gold bars elite. So gold bars elite. What do we have? Gold bar system. We did take a 1% hit on that one, so we did lose back some money on that. Uh, Prime profit system, we got a good, nice profit, which is the one I just showed you just now. 3.13% is what we got over there. And then finally, IB Elite Insider Bar. These are all momentum strategies. We had a small minus 0.24. So if you add all that up, what we got is 3.13 minus 1 minus 0.24. What we got is about 2.37% profit is what we got as of now. Okay, so that's the thing that we have in terms of the elite room, and also that would equate to 53 pips altogether. Okay, right, so that's to do with that one there. In terms of the LTM, I think we've only had one trade so far, which was the money bar system. And the money bar system, what we have is 1.02%. Every other strategy has been flat. No trades taken, 1.02%. 61 pips is what we got over here. So if I add up both the rooms, 1.02 plus 2.37, and in terms of the pips, plus 53. So what we got basically is 3.39%, and we got basically 11 4 pips. Okay, so that's what we've got. So that's great. So it's been a very good start to September. Just most important thing is that let's not give that back, and let's be vigilant. 114 pips, 10 pounds a point. That's 1,140 pounds up. Okay. All right. I guess that's pretty much that from me in terms of this video. As we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.